So, Cody.
Yep.
I need to run something by you.
Okay, go ahead.
How do you feel about the fact that lifestyle bloggers and the beauty community has to deal with Sonic every day in the terms of using Clarisonic?
Excuse me?
Like, they could have played the game when they were younger, right? But it's never really gone from their mind because they use this cleaning tool.
I thought you were gonna go through the glam glow route, in which they had that Sonic, like, blue face mask or whatever that was super expensive and everyone did for, like, time on YouTube. But this is a totally...
like a hot minute.
That was more of a trend.
This is, like, everlasting.
Oh my god.
They, like, Sonic is a part of their routine.
Oh my god, Allie.
And it's...
Is that what you think when you use a Clarisonic?
No, but I saw this thing, and now I had, like, a just shower thoughts, but it was, like, a just doing my face mask thoughts, like, this morning. And now I can't look at... I want to throw my Mia 2 out the window. Like, I can't look at it the same anymore.
Oh my god.
I legitimately want to cover up the...
like,
it's too much, honestly. And now I'm just imagining that all of the, like, product shots that all of the beauty community and, like, the lifestyle community has used, it's just wild to me, honestly.
That's...
Because now I'm just imagining Sonic. So
I want to live inside your brain for, like, a day and see how you come up with that shit.
I don't know that you do, because that's how you got onto this podcast.
Yeah, in hindsight, probably not the best idea.
Welcome to Into the Twilight, where we talk about glittery vampires and crack theories about Sonic.
And occasionally have to record episodes multiple times because we just can't catch a break.
Oh, and also, where Audacity fucks us in the ass, so...
God, I'm just so mad on everything.
Shout out to free services that we use to try and record this when we are not in the same room.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate you, but, you know, Pro Tools wouldn't pull this shit.
I think that it is worth noting that our listenership and the folks who engage with this podcast know that we have actually never met.
Yeah.
I think that's worth noting.
That's worth noting, that we've never been in the same physical room ever.
Right. Yeah.
Let alone usually the same side of the U.S.
country. Yeah. That's wild. So just keep that in mind, that this is the main way that we engage with each other on a weekly basis.
We never speak throughout the week until we hit record. Then
well, that's bullshit, first of all.
But could you imagine?
I usually let you get away with, like, fibs, but that's a blatant lie, first of all.
I just wanted to see how you would react. I actually hate Allie, and I don't want to talk to her, but we're contractually obligated to do this production because we're, you know, hotshot celebrities, so we have to, the show must go on. So
just so you know how big of a liar Cody is, Cody wants me and gets pissed when I don't keep up our daily Snapchat streak, so that is something to keep in mind.
It's not for me, it's for you and being, you know, a cool hip lady of technology and not an 85-year-old woman who doesn't really check her Snapchat.
It's true. Cody drags me.
I don't even think you watch stories. I don't think you've ever watched one of my stories ever. I think you just open.
I literally go on Snapchat, respond to yours, and then I go off Snapchat. Like, I don't check anybody.
That's not how you do any of this.
Sometimes at, like, 10:30 at night, I'll post not a Vine, who am I? A Snapchat of me screaming watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and then I get off for, like, 3 months. Like, it's not an app that I use.
2017 is going to be the year where Allie learns how to use Snapchat correctly.
I've been saying for the past 3 years. Like, it's not... So, just keep that in mind and use that to deepen your analysis of this podcast.
Just this dynamic.
How are you doing, Cody?
Well, you were talking about our beloved listeners who know us truly and dearly, and they asked us some questions to answer in this here podcast. Got
questions.
So we're going to answer those because, you know, we're hotshots, so...
I'm sorry, we're like famous now.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Sorry, I got reporters banging on the door asking me for my input on Into the Twilight.
Oh. Sorry. That was them right there. Actually, I gotta go. I don't know. Not my Postmates, my paparazzi, actually. They're kind. They actually knock on the door.
Well, the Postmates actually are, they know who you are, so they're interested.
What if paparazzi actually brought you food?
What if God was one of us?
Literally, I can't. I should have known that was coming. I should have known that one of these episodes that was going to come up. I can't.
I'm actually crying.
What is that fucking quote that people use all the time about God? No, not the biblical ones. Fuck that. The photo set one where it's like,
you gotta give me a little bit more than this.
It's like, what's a god to a... Oh, I feel like everybody's screaming at me right now about what it is. What's a god to a non-believer? That one?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
That one. That's what I feel like when you just said that to me.
I understand if you want to quit the podcast.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? It's a Kanye West song? Oh, shit. I didn't realize that.
Oh, well, shit. Yeah, I should have
West
been on that, but...
reference for that.
There we go.
I'm disappointed in you for not knowing that, to be honest.
Listen, I'm not in my game right now.
So anyway, questions. We got a few. In all fairness, I think we're just not going to say names of who asked them.
Sure, that's fair.
Should we make up names instead?
That seems like something you want to do, so please go ahead.
Okay. Let's make up Twilight names for them.
Okay.
Instead. Someone asked us to sort Twilight characters into Harry Potter houses. Mm-hmm. And I say this person should be Victoria.
Great.
So...
I wanted to... See, the last time we did this, we went through this little article that has their opinions of the houses. And since we've already kind of seen that with our own eyes, and we've had time to simmer on it for a little bit.
The lost episode.
The lost R.I.P.
Yes.
I want to know just your opinions of some of our bays in terms of Hogwarts houses.
The one that I've been mulling over the most since we talked about this last time was Bella. Mm-hmm. The article that we looked at sorted her into Gryffindor.
Right.
And I can't decide if I want her in Gryffindor or if I want her in Ravenclaw.
Yeah, because like, it makes sense either way.
Right.
And also, you know, in terms of Harry Potter, whatever, like, not all Gryffindors are, like, just this, like, idea of whatever. Like, there's very you know, un-Gryffindor-like Gryffindors, or et cetera, and all this stuff. So there's a very large spectrum between those. So, like, it makes sense.
Right. Because I think, in general, there's an argument to be made that, like, Hermione could be a Slytherin, right?
Or a Ravenclaw.
Right, yeah. Like, could be cast into different houses.
For sure.
So, and I would say that, like,
and even
out of
Luna,
the main trio... Exactly. Like, out of the main trio, I would say that Ron is the most, like...
Yeah, like, traditional.
Right. So, I don't know. I think that Bella definitely fits a Gryffindor, like, I don't know. There's parts of her that definitely fit it, but I also say that she could definitely be into Ravenclaw, too. Like, I bet that if she just asked the Sorting Hat...
Which she totally would.
She definitely would.
She's like, hey, so, like, what do you think?
Right, yeah.
Because here's the thing, right? She's super smart and cunning and all this stuff, which is great. But she's also very brash and jumps into things without thinking, especially in New Moon, where she just kind of, like, doesn't put herself first and just does really dangerous things, regardless of the consequences, which is very Gryffindor-like.
Yes, and I would say that continues throughout this series as well. So, if anything, I would say that she could possibly be a Gryffindor with maybe, like, Ravenclaw undertones.
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
Right.
Like a Ravenclaw with Gryffindor undertones. Either way, I think works.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like having two houses or whatever, but sometimes it works, you know? Just shut up. Shh.
Right. Just
none of this is real. It doesn't matter. So, like, let us have fun.
Right. Yeah. The other one for Edward, I do say a Ravenclaw fits him very well. For people who think that Geminis automatically need to go into Slytherin because we're all snakes, fuck off and stop listening to this podcast. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough.
Allie has banned you from listening to any more of this podcast.
As someone who is a Gemini, stop it, because I don't like snakes, and I have a lot of feelings about this whole, like, reptilian people thing that's going around, and I hate it, so fuck off. And that's all I have to say.
Allie has feelings.
Jacob Black is definitely Hufflepuff.
Yeah, like, we don't even need to talk about it.
There's no question.
That's
like,
it. Sorry.
He is like a doting puppy.
He's textbook. Textbook Hufflepuff.
Yes. Yeah, like
if
when
he
I
wasn't
think
a
of
werewolf,
Hufflepuff-
he would turn into a badger. Like, he would just...
Oh my god.
Bye.
Wait, alright. So, let's just imagine...
Close your eyes,
as
everyone.
we read through this, that instead, when Jacob starts to shake and gets really pissed, he doesn't turn into what everybody in the town assumes is a big bear. He turns into a little badger. There you go. I do think that Alice could be a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the article talked about. The only other thing, in AU, where Alice uses her, like, powers for, like, the dark side.
Sure.
In order to, like, be more cunning or to use it for her advantage, I would say that she could be a little bit more, like, Slytherin.
Yeah, for sure.
The only other thing that I have concern about that, though, and I do think that she's definitely a Ravenclaw, my only other thing about that, though, is that they use her powers for, like, stocks and stuff. And,
Yeah.
like, how are y'all making all that money, though? And that's the only thing where I'm like, maybe she does, like, fit into those characteristics.
For sure. Like, sort of gaming the system in a way and all that.
Exactly. Charlie is also Hufflepuff.
Look at that face. He's a badger. Just like...
Yeah. Don't even try to at me, like, just, that's too real. He's perfect and pure. Yeah, Rosalie is definitely a Slytherin.
Yeah, I'm not even mad. Like, it's...
And she is definitely one of those people that I think people assume is a Slytherin for, like, the negative reasons.
Right.
But she has, like, great qualities, too.
Right, that also
It's just
are
that-
in line with, like, Slytherin characteristics.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're just usually for her.
Yeah, it just works out to her advantage. She's just one of those people that, she's just trying to do her. That's not a bad thing. Emmett is definitely a Gryffindor.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
He is what I assume when I think of Gryffindor. It's just, like, down and dirty, like, loyal to the end, like, ready to do it all.
Yeah, man.
The one that I don't know about is Jasper.
Yeah.
Because
also we don't get to hear
Hufflepuff.
from him a lot, at least in the first book or so,
We learn more about him in the next book.
Right.
They have him as Hufflepuff, and I don't think that that's true. I would say maybe Ravenclaw,
Yeah.
maybe Slytherin.
Interesting.
So, I'm not sure. I'll have to come back to that one. Jessica's definitely Ravenclaw. Fuck off. Like, that's not... Why would that even be a question? Esme is definitely a Hufflepuff. Like, and Carlisle is a Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a perfect couple,
Truly. Like, that's a great...
That's a great match.
Yes. 10 out of 10. So, thank you, Victoria, for that question. Very good. Love that a lot. So, the next one that we got was to sort the Twilight characters into astrology signs. And the name for this one will be Lauren?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Let's do it.
I was going to say Lauren or Jessica.
Sure.
What do you think?
Just their relationship. Their ship.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, I love that more.
Lauressica. Nailed it. Joran.
Joran. I like Joran.
Joran's awful.
Joran. Joran is very, like, high fashion.
It's true. It's
So-
Paris. It's Vogue. It's
It's very fall winter
yes.
2017.
Ooh, yes. Yes, Gaga. Yes. Joran.
Oh my god.
I'm naming my firstborn Joran.
It's been decided.
Yeah, the fates have gone upon it.
Oh my god. Based on a ship that you're queer coding into the
Yeah,
title.
listen,
Actually,
I wouldn't say.
that's so perfect, honestly. This one we actually did look at a website
Which is, like,
for.
kind of fucked because the point of astrology is that you were born in this date, and that's what it is. Right. And they were just like, hey, how about fuck that? Just put whatever we wanted. And, like, I get it.
I would like your opinions on this website, please.
I do like that Gemini is Jasper. I feel like you two knuckleheads make a lot of sense.
Yes.
I do like that Cancer is Esme, because Esme is queen mom. She's just mom, and like that's very Cancer water sign, pure angel.
Right.
Jacob Black as a Pisces is very funny to me.
That's amazing.
Because I don't know whether it's because he's a child, you know, at least in the beginning, like he's very young and very just like impressionable and very much like a puppy and emotional, you know, but in a way that's like masculinity hasn't crushed him yet, and he's allowed to have feelings. And so I don't know if that like that little like boyish wonder sort of continues on as we see more of him.
Such a great choice for him, honestly.
Right. So I think that's nice if it continues, but it also could just be like little baby Jacob being emotional and crying a lot.
I mean, that's really it.
Yeah. That's just
the one that got the most comments out of all of them is Edward's, which I'm screaming over.
Because they said he was a Scorpio.
Which,
I mean, honestly, listen, in an alternate universe,
I think is the best choice.
The stars are probably like, hey, we fucked up a little bit on this one.
I would believe it if he was changed during, like, October or early November.
Oh, shit. That's an interesting theory. That's really interesting. It could be like, your birthday is this, but your real sign is from when you were turned into a vampire or whatever. That's wild.
You were transformed.
That's wild.
Your new life, that's like your actual sign.
Oh my god, I love that.
Like the way that Stephanie writes him, I get it. He's a Gemini. Like I get it. But as someone who's like a Gemini and a Scorpio,
oh my god,
he's definitely a Scorpio, okay? So I get it. I feel like that's true.
I'm trying to think if it's like maybe their moon sign or their rising or whatever. That's what to do with their like when they turn. When they turn, it's one of those. That's fucking wild. I love that.
That's what I'm fucking saying, because as someone with a Scorpio moon and a Scorpio rising,
oh my god,
Edward is. I get
how
it.
How did you become the worst combination of signs and end up being the most pure human being on the planet? Like, I want to at the stars.
It's called gaming the system.
Oh my god. There's that little bit of Slytherin. It's underneath the...
No, it's Ravenclaw, because I got it all figured out.
Oh my god.
My favorite thing, I think, actually, about all of this, though, is they still have Bella as a Virgo.
Yeah, no, regardless. It's like, you know, you can't escape that. You're too textbook.
Yeah. I do love that since they have Jasper as a Gemini, they put Alice as a Sagittarius because they're sister signs, so they're very compatible together. Very good choice. Carlisle is a Capricorn, obviously.
Dad.
Yes. That is like the dad sign, so it works out perfectly. Charlie is a Taurus, which honestly could not have been a more perfect thing.
Ugh, baby.
And we haven't gotten there yet, but they put the werewolf as Aquarius, which like fucking same. Some notable choices there. So thank you, Joran, for that choice question. I like it a lot. And there was another one. Let's talk about a question that we got from, this is a very pure person, so let's do Renee? Great. Renee asks, have we seen Twilight the musical? Cody, have you dabbled in Twilight the musical?
Sorry, whom?
At all?
Whom? I don't know her. I'm very interested because Renee was saying that you can't find it on the internet, like it's in the deep, deep web, and that only, like, intrigues me more. Like, I want to do a deep dive and do some, like, investigations.
I also have not seen Twilight the musical. At the time, I thought that it was below my standards.
Oh my god.
Which...
As a true Twilight stan, TM.
And now I only engage in trash, basically, as someone who reads fan fiction every week on here. So...
As a profession.
And so I'm very intrigued by this idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Renee also asks, are there any other books or media that we grew up on and look back and cringe at how problematic and unhealthy that they are?
I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of what show you're listening to.
Right. So about 6 months ago, created a magical podcast called Into the Twilight.
This was 6 months
with
ago?
someone named Cody. I mean, almost.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
think.
Forget it.
We started the idea definitely 6 months ago.
You're not wrong.
And it's about this series called Twilight that is one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Oh, God. Stop.
And is literal trash. So
Yeah, that'll do it.
and also I have a supernatural tattoo. So like that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Cody never engages anything that's trash.
No, everything I do is great and always passes the Bechdel test, and it's just great.
Yep.
I wish. Yeah, that'd be the dream.
That'd be goals. That's only how I'm gonna be teaching my students.
Oh my God. The world will be so much better by that time.
Truly. And the last question, what are some of our all-time favorite books?
I have a tattoo from one of my favorite books, which is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. It's lit. And also, I really love Brave New World and, like, dystopian garbage because I'm trash. But I don't know, I really love nonfiction. I'm kind of just distanced away from fiction lately, but I'm really into, like, memoirs and nonfiction-y stuff. I don't know.
Good choices,
Thank
both
you.
of them.
Thank you.
I love fiction, so I have a tattoo of a book of fiction. It's from The Lover's Dictionary by David Levithan, who is an amazing author. One of my other favorite books is The Time Traveler's Wife,
Yes.
which, holy fuck. And also the audiobook of that is choice. Has one of my favorite audiobook narrators of all time.
Could you imagine
So
if it was
would
Ilyana Kadushin?
It is not, actually, but that would be very lit, actually.
Hi, Ilyana. I want to commission something for you.
I need you to remake the Time
I have a
Traveler's
strange
Wife.
request.
What if I just fucking send her an email? And I was like,
Are her
"Hey."
DMs open? Because we can make this happen.
We could,
We have
yeah.
a very successful podcast.
Let us send you our analytics. So, Cody.
Yeah.
Should we talk about chapters 7 and 8 for the second time?
Boy, I guess.
Yes.
Might as well,
I guess we probably should.
No.
Last week, you brought up the fact that Bella's dynamic
Yeah.
with Jacob is #yikes.
Yeah.
And we kind of ended there, right?
Mm-hmm.
This chapter starts off just like hitting the nail on the head of how unhealthy this dynamic
It's
is.
like she's so self-aware of it, but also will do nothing to change it, you know?
Right.
Because she's at this point where she's like, this is the worst it's gonna get, like my life has no meaning any more than it already didn't have to her because Edward's gone. And she's just doing all this stuff that she knows isn't great, but she has no drive to do anything about it, and is just wanting to chase danger and put herself in danger because she's like, fuck it, whatever. Let me fuck
it
this
makes
12-year-old.
me so sad.
It's so sad.
Because
you deserve so much better.
I know how little experience and knowledge even
Sure,
that she
yeah.
has with building healthy and fulfilling relationships
Mm-hmm.
of any sort.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she's now found someone who she could potentially have a friendship
Mm-hmm.
with that is mutually beneficial, and instead she's in such a traumatic space where she's unable to see it as something that is just a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to make it as something more. It just makes me so sad.
She never learned how to, like, prioritize friendships. And we saw that
Right.
as in the 4 months where she didn't talk to anyone. I mean,
Right.
validly because of trauma or whatever. But, like,
Yes.
she never had a support system to come back to because she didn't really establish one or didn't try to establish one as much as she could have. Because
Right.
her relationship was the only thing in her life. And now that that's gone, and also she doesn't have any friends, when she sees someone who could be a potential friend, she's like, see, that's chill and all, but, like, what if we just boned, you know? What if we just had some hot smooches, you know? Like,
Yeah.
no,
You've
you
got
can
genitals.
have friends.
I've got genitals, so why don't we just
Have them hug a little
rub them
bit.
together a little bit?
I don't know which one was worse. I don't know.
Probably both of them, honestly. Oh, no.
No.
I understand where Stephanie could have written this book, right? She could have utilized what Bella's going through to showcase that this is not a healthy way to do it, and then provide an example that is a good way. Right? But instead, she just writes a sentence like, I felt hideously empty and wanted to see Jacob, and then just, like, leaves it there. To let younger readers, because this was primarily a YA novel, and just let this be something that younger folks were meant to aspire to.
Right.
Because they're reading it through a first-person narration. And so it's like, Stephanie, god damn it, no.
Jeez, they're young women.
First you have them wanting to fuck a statue, and now you have them just looking at anybody, wanting them to just care about you. That's not what I want younger people, especially, but anybody, to get out of a friendship or any sort of dynamic.
And the way this is heading towards, like, this love triangle bullshit, like, is even grosser, because it's more like, it reinforces what Edward was saying in Midnight Sun and being like, I didn't want to be just friends, you know? And that also being with Jacob, who is really young and I don't think he understands whether he wants a friendship with her, a romantic relationship, or anything. He's just kind of like, I think you're cool to hang around, and I'm 12, so, like, whatever. And so...
And he's also feeling hormones.
Right, exactly. And so he's just, like, going with what his body does, and he doesn't know how to control. And I think that, in a way, Bella's sort of unintentionally taking advantage of that, because she's older and while she doesn't really know anything and isn't experienced, and also has been suffering trauma and doesn't really know how to deal with her own emotions, it's very much like, it's a bad situation, it's a bad power dynamic to have over someone, even if you're intentionally doing it. Like, there's no way that it can work out and be, like, tight for everyone involved.
Yeah, I think the whole situation is just a frustrating one, because... And I think that especially into this chapter, too, where later on some of the things that Jacob is saying kind of force a weird dynamic with the two of them. If there wasn't any implications that if boys and girls, like, can't just be friends, like, if they could just hang out together and enjoy each other's company and learn from each other and heal with each other, and that could be great on its own and not just be just. Like, it could not just be, like, subpar. Then this would be a great novel. Like, that would be a good
This would be Moby Dick if they just changed that one little thing.
Well, it would be a really important component of both of their lives.
For sure.
But instead, it's bullshit.
Yeah, no.
Like, you can tell what Stephanie is leading up to. So it makes it seem like bullshit.
Yeah.
Bella goes to the Shiny Squad house.
Bella.
Ugh.
How Not to Address Trauma by Bella Swan.
How not to address trauma, and, like, a House Hunters episode gone rogue. It's, like, bad. And I'm so curious about why Stephanie let this make the cut.
Yeah,
of
like,
the
it's
novel,
such a
honestly.
short part of it, and it really doesn't affect anything.
And it doesn't even make the movie.
Right,
Like,
it's just not, it doesn't...
It's nonchalant. I mean, she basically misses the exit to get there, right? Which is an ongoing theme of the first book anyway. And as soon as she gets there, she basically leaves the car or the truck running, walks like 3 steps and is like, nope, bye, like, can't do this.
And then it's over.
And then just, runs away. The main thing, right, was she was hoping that she'd feel his presence there. And that did not happen. So she's like, nah, fuck this. This is bullshit. I need to go try and jump off something to feel anything.
Jump off some cliffs, man.
Which she thinks about later on. Which is gross. There's this gross thing about both Jacob and trying to assume more about Bella than is actually necessary.
Yeah.
Which, ew.
And to be fair, Edward did that all the time as well.
Exactly. Yes.
All the men in her life.
Yes. Except for Charlie.
I mean...
It's just gross. Jacob mentions during the process of rebuilding these motorcycles that if he, quote, had any brains, which, he would have dragged out this process a little bit longer.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just...
Sir.
Thanks, Jacob. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Anyway, they make plans to go and ride these motorcycles because later on, Jake calls and says the most awkward thing. Especially because Bella makes a note, right, that his tone is thick with implications and says that he says, quote, I believe that we ... have a date.
Like, that's not how you say any of what he was trying to say.
Nope.
That's not at all English.
Nope. No,
No.
thank you. But of course, before they could do that, Mike Newton has to ask Bella out for the upteenth time. So
Because he just
That's
can't take a hint.
No, especially because they work together
Yeah.
at his parents' store.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, this is convenient and easy.
Before I give you your paycheck
Right.
from my parents,
Let me just dangle it in front of you and make sure that you say yes to dating me first.
Oh my god.
Hey, actually, here's an idea. Because I'm still not over the fact that they work at like a camping store.
Right.
I know that it's like, it makes sense, right, from the geographical area. But what if they worked at the Port Angeles party store
Listen.
that we talked about?
I mean, I guess. That seems like it'd be a fun job.
Because I feel more comfortable about Bella working with streamers and key lime colored tablecloths than boots and hiking hammers and tents and stuff.
But imagine this, Anastasia Steele working at that party place.
I feel better about that because that would mean that Christian Grey uses like streamers to tie your hands up. Then,
his sex life would be so
rope.
fun.
And that like when he orgasms, like confetti pops out or something. Like that would
No, that's good.
be a fun twist on a shitty classic. So.
Classic.
Well, I was gonna say a new twist on an old classic, but it's neither old nor
A classic.
great at all. Yeah, so whatever.
50 years from now, we'll be
so.
reminiscing about the classic that is 50 Shades of Grey.
While we're still reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Also, no. I hate all of this. Okay. Enter in, stage left, the cliff diving boys.
Boys.
Half naked, reckless.
They don't say which half.
Filled.
They don't say which.
Oh. Can you imagine? Sweaters and Columbia jackets,
Yeah.
but like
Turtlenecks.
dicks hanging in the wind. Assless chaps just like itching to go into the sea.
Oh, God. I'm wearing the top half of a morph suit and nothing else. I got 3 turtlenecks.
New title of my
nothing.
memoir.
I got gloves. I got a turtleneck. I got a hat. Nothing downstairs.
Oh my god.
Anyway, they're jumping off this cliff, right?
Yeah. So Bella and Jacob are driving to go ride these motorcycles, right? And Bella like casually looks off to her left at the scenery and just sees like 5 guys jump off a cliff, and she's like, absolutely not. Slams on the brakes.
Yeah.
She's like, we have to call an ambulance. Of course, to get to the nearest phone is like 2 hours away. So that's not gonna happen. And of course, Jake's like, Bella,
Come on.
it's fine.
We're fine.
As like their ding dongs are just like flaying in the wind. Like it's not. Oh my god.
I'm glad I have all this audio from you.
I can't go back from like 3 episodes ago when I said the godforsaken phrase.
God.
So like at this point, so Bella turns a 180, not in the car, but in her mind, because she's like, Jacob, you have to take me cliff diving. Which now that we've talked about what the requirements are for cliff diving,
Makes a lot more sense.
This makes so much more sense.
Listen, it's been a couple episodes since we got to see Horn Dog Bella, and now we're back at it.
If any of my kids, when I start teaching, start saying cliff diving recreationally, I now know what they're talking about.
God. The secret message.
I've decoded what they're talking about. Shout out to Paramore.
Oh my god. That was such a deep dive from Paramore, but also within the Twilight soundtrack. I hate you so much.
Jacob starts talking about these half-naked men, these bikini-bottom men, and mentions that they are, quote, hall monitors gone bad. Now...
That's a squad I want to be in.
Are we imagining that they are always half naked?
Oh my god. I can't keep this theory. It was a goof. I didn't think it was gonna go this far. I'm not.
Because Jacob mentions that they don't start fights, they keep the peace. So what?
Yeah, well, listen.
Actually, I prefer them to be clothed, because I don't want to sexualize these people.
Put some goddamn clothes on.
I'd rather them, actually look like hall monitors, have passes.
Yeah, for sure.
Them. Jacob, he starts to shake, right? Like a actual, phone vibrating. He's just, losing it. Because he cannot handle the fact that Samuel has the audacity to look at him.
Ugh.
In general.
The nerve.
The one thing, though, and I don't know why Stephanie thought this okay, other than the fact that I think she was maybe trying to reference how, actual, old-fashioned mobs worked, but the way that she describes Samuel and all, it comes off very, in a grooming sort of way. Which is nasty.
I mean...
I don't like that at all. Yeah, the way that it's described is Sam looks at Jacob like he's waiting for something, and he pays more attention to Jacob than any of the other guys. So...
Yeah. Interesting use of language that you probably didn't mean.
Stephanie.
Steph, you know better.
Bella just is not okay with any of this at all and goes all, mom mode on Jacob. And it's just absolutely not. Let's run away right now. No, thank you.
Bye.
And the way that this chapter ends, sometimes I forget the way that Stephanie writes. I forget because I don't want to remember anything.
Yeah, you suppress it.
Bella hugs Jacob, right? Because she's like, no, I'm just going to hug all of your sorrow away. And she's like, I don't usually relate to people so easily on such a, basic level. And then she's like, oh, well, I mean, not human beings. Am I right, ladies?
Am I right?
And then the chapter just ends, and it's can I just rip this page
Fucking
out of
does
the
a
book,
stage
please?
dive at the open mic.
Right.
Immediately face plants. Nobody catches her.
Oh, fuck.
And we're just fucking face palming in the background, Jesus Christ.
Yep, exactly. And there's Bella bombing her first open mic.
Yeah, wouldn't be the last. Won't be the last.
Nope. It will never be the last one. And that's how chapter 7 ends, y'all. So, great.
They're sounding more and more like cat noises. And less like air horns. It sounds like you're meowing right now.
I hate that.
But I appreciate the effort.
So, chapter 8, the shit show called Adrenaline. Yay.
Yeah, boys. Meaning Bella just does not have any value for her own life and just wants to fuck her shit up.
And also, fuck.
I mean, listen, aren't we all?
To be honest.
My new Twitter bio was looking to fuck shit up and also fuck.
I love that, actually. So chapter 8, it starts off with these motorcycles that they are riding.
Yep.
So Bella has the audacity to even
Has a motherfucking nerve.
Yes, to say in her mind that she's already lived through the worst thing possible. And she doesn't mention which one, but we're supposed to assume that it's Edward the Human.
Right.
And then goes on to say, in comparison with that, why should anything else frighten her? Okay.
Ma'am.
So.
No.
So here she is, sitting on top of this bunch of metal meant to...
It's really haphazardous.
Basically.
Gilgamesh of metal parts.
Yeah, this thing that Jacob haphazardly assembled most likely well.
Yeah.
Because I assume that he has talent, but still. She basically just, like, falls over several times before she gets it going. Before she starts writing, she does end up hearing Edward's voice. So that's great.
That's just wonderful. Thank you.
Just, like, exactly what I needed. All that he says is just admonishes her intelligence again. So, thank you, Edward. Really great. And she gets going. And dies again.
Yeah,
like,
R.I.P.
Yeah, bye, Bella. I want to know what was going through Jacob's mind. Because we get very clearly what's going on in Bella's mind.
Right.
Through this. But now all I can imagine is Jake being like, yes, Bella, you did it. You're finally writing on your... Oh, God.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. I killed Bella.
He literally, like, runs over to her. Is like, are you alive? Like, are you okay? And she's like, I've never been better. Let's fucking go, man. Let's do it again. Yes. And she's, like, bleeding from, like, every part of her body.
Yeah, she pops up looking like she swam in the blood from The Shining. Like, just absolutely covered in her own blood.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, Jacob, I'm so sorry for bleeding. He's like, what? I don't.
Excuse me?
That, I mean, you can apologize, but, like, it doesn't really matter to me. And she's like, oh, I'm just so used to, like, apologizing for bleeding.
Oh.
So, this motherfucker had to get 7 stitches.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
On her forehead.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a badass thing to do, Bella.
Yo, when I was, like, I want to say very young, like, maybe 4 or 5 or some shit, I got 8 fucking stitches on my chin because I tripped over a basketball, which is, like, the most baller thing I've ever done, I think.
And then the legacy of Cody began.
Yeah, that's where it all fucking started. That's when I know, I'm like, this is it.
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was a fucking baller. Came out a baller. Gonna die a baller.
Bye.
Ballin's all I do, man. I'm sorry.
Shut up. That's not... Stitches gross me out.
Yeah, no, they're fucking grody. Like, no thanks.
I don't like the idea that you need something to, like, put your skin back
Right,
together.
like, the fact that just, like, you could just sew it back up. Like, no, absolutely not. No.
I don't like that. I mean, it's cool that, like, your skin can just, like...
Right, like, science
and
is
it's,
amazing,
like,
and people who can do it are incredible, and they're saving lives. Like, I get it.
I think the thing that grosses me out is, like, metal stitches.
Yeah, no thanks.
I can't. Like, absolutely not. And I don't like touching stitches.
Yeah, no thanks.
Ew! No! I've had dissolvable ones before.
Sure.
And, like, what? They dissolve? Where do they go? I don't like that. No.
To this day, Allie still doesn't know where those stitches are. They could be anywhere.
They could be in my brain. I don't understand. I hate that. Anyway, also, just keep in mind that, like, Bella had stitches in September in her birthday on her arm. And now she's having stitches again in January.
We can't catch a break.
Like, her skin is like, can you fucking not, though?
Can we just...
It's the thing.
I'm trying really hard out here. Can you just do me a solid,
Like,
meet me halfway?
Her skincare routine is trying hard, but, like, there's only so much you can do.
There's only so much Mud Mask can do.
To be honest. The thing to note about this whole situation is while she's, one, going home and changing out of her bloodstained shirt to get a new one, going to the ER, all those kinds of things, the only thing she can think about is, I want to go back out there and do this again. What?
Ma'am, no. What?
And not because, like, I am just a slut for the adrenaline. No, it's, like, because she wants to hear Edward's voice again. Which,
Stop.
What? No.
Baby.
So that's not good.
How do you spell healthy relationships? Not with any of those letters.
Nope. Not with any of this. Charlie is not believing any of Bella's situation.
Yeah, having none of it.
Her cover-up was that she fell in Jacob's garage.
On a
and hit her head on a hammer. So...
Like, maybe become... Like, I can't believe this is from the same brain that concocted the entire scheme in the end of Twilight that was like, I'm gonna lie to Charlie and sob and have this whole story about wanting to go back to Phoenix and, like, I broke up with Edward and all this stuff. And then she comes back 6 months later being like, yeah, so I, like, tripped and, like, fell on my head on a hammer that was on the floor. Like, it was wild. Like, I don't know what happened. It was super wild. Okay, bye.
Honestly, I don't believe any of
Like,
it.
you're better
Like
than
that-
this. Come on.
Truly, I know her brain.
Yeah.
She's way better at coming up with stuff than that. Anyway, also, if you tripped on a hammer, I'm pretty sure your brain would crack.
Like, I just, like, what part of the hammer could you possibly have fell on that wouldn't, like, literally kill you? I don't understand.
Myth busted, Bella. Like, stop.
I want to
Anyway.
watch Mythbusters, goddamn.
I saw this weird thing that they created a robot that, like, fucked up people. And I'm
What
really
is
intrigued,
that
and I-
supposed to mean?
I don't
It just,
know, I saw
like,
something-
murdered people.
I read this thing earlier today about Mythbusters, and I miss it. So,
Yeah.
y'all, we're almost done. Hold on.
Just keep on holding on.
So this chapter finishes up with them going on a hike, because what else do you do?
It's,
in
you know.
the Pacific Northwest? Bella needed to refresh her Tinder bio, so she needed to say that she was a hiker.
Oh my god.
So, of course, they're not just going on any hike. They're going on a hike to the meadow. So when Bella tells Jacob about where she wants to go, she's like, I don't know, it's sort of like in this place and up, and you go like, and this place. And he's like, oh, perfect. We will definitely find it.
He's already got like a
Which
bunch
is-
of maps taped up behind him. He's like, huh? Yeah, what? Here?
Red tape
Yeah.
everywhere and like string and everything.
He's literally Charlie Day, just like, is it here?
But, like, actually, though, because when she goes to the Black's house the morning of, the whole front area is just, like,
Covered
maps. It's so cute.
What a
He
sweet
spends the whole
soft
time-
boy.
Honestly, he spends the whole time with, like, maps and a compass, like, drawing it out so that they won't get lost and find it perfectly. And I was like, you were so smart.
Yeah.
Like,
Baby.
and just, like, practical and trying to make sure that, like, your safety is utmost importance and just, like, good. I hate that this is, like, a really important thing. Like, this is, like, awe-inspiring, but also good. I'm glad. The wild thing, too, is he's like, maybe we'll see the super bear.
Oh my god.
So
pure.
that's great. Also, touching on the fact that they do not have a great relationship full of, like, honesty and trust is Bella mentions the fact that if they're on this hiking trip, she doesn't want to actually divulge why they're going to this specific spot.
Right.
Because if she lets herself slip up and has, like, a flashback or an anxiety attack and ends up, like, clutching herself, trying to hold it together, how is she going to explain that to Jacob? What?
Yeah, no. It's so
So-
sad that she always feels like she has to be on for all the men in her life.
Yeah.
Like, even within a romantic relationship, you shouldn't have to do that. But it makes more sense with her, and she doesn't really understand and doesn't have a lot of experience
Yeah.
with that. So she feels like she has to keep a sort of facade at some point. But with Jacob, where there's a possibility for a really good friendship and a really good relationship that's platonic, she still also feels like she has to put up a front. And it's really sad. Because, like, you don't have to do... Like, Jacob's literally your lapdog. He will do anything for you. And he's just here for the ride. He's having a good time.
And that's so much emotional labor.
Right.
Like, that's very
That's
exhausting.
incredibly exhausting. And she's already doing the most. Like, so... Probably not great for her mental state that's already kind of fucked up at the moment.
All I would want for Bella is on International Women's Day for her to have made a post being like, if I've ever helped you at all, Venmo me $20. And just for all of the money
God
to have
bless.
come in. From, like, Mike, and from Tyler, and from Eric, and from, like, everybody.
Just rolling in.
For it to have, and then for her to donate it or to set it up from, like, a college fund. So, do you want to talk about the ending of this chapter?
No, I'd rather not.
It's pretty gnarly. I thought that chapter 7's ending was gross, but this one is pretty grody.
Or he fucking says that she probably tastes good, which, like, absolutely not. Can we not do this right now? Thank you. And then she says thanks, as if that's a normal thing, that
Right?
that's like a compliment that you would get. And she's like, you know, he wasn't the first person to tell me that. Bella, can we just...
Wink, wink,
I
wink.
just-
Dives off the stage again.
Yeah. At that point, no one's there. They've all gone. They're all...
Yep.
The bartender's just like, we closed like an hour ago. Please get out.
As she's diving, the bartender, like, throws his towel at her. Like,
Stop, Steph. You can't.
That is
Children
in
read
no
this.
way.
Children read this. What are you doing?
I want to read it as like a sexual innuendo, but it's hard.
No, it's just so goofy. It's just so ridiculous. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gross.
I bet you taste good. No, but who says that? Who says this? What? And then Billy be like, yeah, totally normal. Chill. I get that all the time. Yup.
Yeah, that is a conversation that happens at like 1 o'clock in the morning on OkCupid.
Right.
Not in real life.
Not fucking midday in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, absolutely not. Not on God's day.
Get out of here. Not on this day of the Lord. Get out of
day.
Here. God. You should be ashamed of
yourself. Come
yourself.
on, Stephanie.
God damn it. Can't believe you made me read this.
Yeah, my eyes had to see this.
I'm gonna rip these pages out of here, set them on fire. It's the Lord's Day. This Christian novel.
Oh my God.
You put
oh my God. Allie.
I'm just saying. God damn it. Anyway.
So next week, chapters 9 and 10.
Next week. When things get lit.
Oh boy.
Chapter 9 is the third wheel, and chapter 10 is the meadow.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Earbud Media. If you want to pitch a show to the network, you can do so at bit.ly/earbudpitch. By the time you're listening to this, tomorrow, aka Tuesday, we'll be launching our next Earbud Media production called Femme as Fuck, which I'm so excited about. It's hosted by the wonderful Ileana, also known as Virginia Woolf, also known as just a great, wonderful human being. But yeah, it's super lit. They go up every Tuesday, and they're just super cool. They also have a Twitter, FemAF podcast, if you want to check that out. It's also on the Earbud Media Twitter. It's all lit. You should check it out.
Yes.
You can find the show, Into the Twilight, pretty much everywhere. We have a Twitter, Into the Twilight, a Facebook page, Into the Twilight. We have a Tumblr, which is Allie's greatest life's work up to date, which is intothetwilightshow.tumblr.com. If you want to send us an email, you can do so at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. If you want to help support this podcast, you can support us on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can get a bunch of cool exclusive stuff. That's patreon.com/intothetwilight. If you don't have any money, we get it. We're all broke. We get it.
Yeah, man.
But you can rate and review us on iTunes. It takes like a second, and it's super easy. And you can help fill out a survey that'll help us get sponsors, and you can find that at bit.ly/into-the-survey.
We would really appreciate it, because we both like looking at all of
we
the
are true analytics
stuff.
hoes, and like literally all that we love in this world is to see feedback from you guys. So
yep, it really helps. Okay, so we got one more question today. Actually, it was a request, and it was from the actual goddess herself, Maddie Padilla.
Praise be.
So the request was to sort her and Eli into Twilight characters, which we haven't done yet.
Honestly, we're bad podcast hosts.
I don't know how that hasn't happened yet. Maybe I was saving it for the end. I don't fucking whatever.
The end of time.
So,
the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know, just to like keep you on your toes.
Oh my God.
So Maddie Padilla, actual goddess herself, created the artwork that you are seeing as you are enjoying this podcast. You can find more of her work at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, which if you're not following at this point, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Honestly, you're fucking up somehow.
Like, if you just, please do it. I don't
Please,
understand.
God.
But, like, do yourself an honest-to-God favor. I don't understand. And our music is done by the actual cryptid himself, Eli Kraus.
The man, the myth, the legend.
You can True, like, honestly. You can find more of Eli's work at krausfilms.com. So, sorting these motherfuckers, I would say Maddie is Angela?
Sure, yeah. A pure angel.
A pure angel. The one that Edward loves looking through when he's understanding the world. I think that's good.
Philosophical.
And, yes. And Eli, I would say, is Seth Clearwater. Because
baby.
I think he's soft and pure.
He's a soft, sweet boy.
And looks upon the world with doting eyes. And we'll know more about Seth as the series goes on.
I love how you're making this judgment without knowing literally anything about Eli Kraus. You can follow Allie yelling about Eli on the internet at 23andme.
Can you
everywhere.
imagine?
You can find me on the internet at Cody Captions or CodyCrow.co.
Pew, 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 pew.
There we are.
Does that sound there?
Yeah,
Okay,
that sounds good.
Have to really like pop that pussy.
Good night. Goodbye.
Oh, the end credits are my favorite part. Okay.
It's really loosey-goosey, this one.
Okay, so this is really fucked up, y'all, because this is the second time we're doing this, and so the one that I had actually had planned for this, I can't use anymore.
I'm sorry.
So, okay, what I'm doing for this, I'm just not even going to pretend that it's like a fucking surprise anymore.
All the joy is just robbed from your face.
Sucked out of my soul. So I'm switching it up again, and I'm not doing a choice of fan fictions for you today. Instead, a couple of days ago, on the Fickle Fish Films Twitter account,
God.
they released a couple of excerpts from the Twilight novel.
Sure.
Like deleted scenes, I guess you would say. There were 4 of them that they put up.
Oh, God.
Including, but not limited to, one that was titled Extended Prom Remix. Excuse me. And Badminton, and a few others.
Oh, God.
The one that I'm going to be reading from today is some backstory that was cut from chapter 14, but it's called Emmett and the Bear. So it's some backstory about Emmett. And so this is written by Stephanie Meyer. Keep that in mind. And so this is Emmett describing some of his tale about the bear. He was finished playing with me then, and I knew I was about to die, Emmett remembered softly, winding up the tale of his human years with the story of the bear. Edward paid us no attention. He'd heard it before. I couldn't move, and my consciousness was slipping away when I heard that what I thought was another bear, and a fight over what would get my carcass, I supposed. Suddenly, it felt like I was flying. I figured I'd died, but I tried to open my eyes anyway. And then I saw her. His face was incredulous at the memory. I empathized entirely. And I knew I was dead. I didn't even mind the pain. I fought to keep my eyes open. I didn't want to miss 1 second of the angel's face. I was delirious, of course, wondering why we hadn't gotten to heaven yet, thinking it must be farther away than I'd expected. I'd kept waiting for her to take flight. Then she brought me to God. He laughed his deep, booming laugh. I could easily comprehend anyone making that assumption. And scene.
Damn.
So that's Emmett talking about Rosalie.
Damn.
So that's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's kind of cute in like a really overtly religious way.
Yeah. It's like very, but we get a little bit of understanding about Emmett as his last like human experiences there. So
cute.
Definitely check out the Fickle Fish Films Twitter account because it's a shit show and
turn notifications on. Always get updated with that sweet, sweet Fickle Fish news.
It's worth it.
God.
So. Oh, God.
As we say in Forks.
Get bit, y'all.